Good morning, everyone. We are going to begin our celebration of life this morning by joining together in song with our opening congregational song, which is in our pink songbook on page 39. Do you hear? Please rise in body or spirit as you are willing and able to join in singing this song with words by Emily L. Thorne and played on the piano by our illustrious accompanist today, Charlie Vogt.
So you have to sing louder, right? There are many of us. So here we go. This is the introduction.
Welcome to the First Existentialist Congregation of Atlanta. My name is Patton White, and I will be facilitating this morning's celebration of life. We are a spiritual community philosophically based on existentialist and feminist principles, dedicated to human liberation and the protection of the natural world. We make our spiritual home here in the Old Stone Church, which was hand-built by the members of the African American Antioch East Baptist Church more than 100 years ago. We acknowledge that racial hostility drove those African Americans from the area, and we honor them and the powerful history of this place. We also acknowledge that in the 1800s, the Muskogee Creek people were driven from this land, and we support justice for all indigenous people. Our opening words this morning are the kickoff, as it were, of our sharing stories of rebirth and renewal. And I will start with a story. It's a brief one. I have fond memories this celebratory day, Easter, in the Christian tradition. And as a recovering Episcopalian, one of the more joyous experiences, I would say, was memorable experiences, was being present at St. Philip Cathedral in Buckhead on Easter Sunday, and seeing everybody dressed up in their Easter finery, and particularly when we began to sing the song, Christ the Lord has risen today, Alleluia. And it's not really the words beyond, just that sense of rebirth and renewal that are introduced in that song, but also the tune itself.
Yeah.
So I'm going to commission you, Jean, Heinrich,
All right.
to come up with new words for that, so we can sing that tune at some point.
Excellent. The E-band will play. We will feature it.
Awesome. All right. If anyone has a community announcement that you would like for me to share a little bit later, there's some paper and writing implements back there on the table next to Jan Lister and the vase of azaleas. And you can write the announcement down, bring it up to me, and I will share those a little bit later. Do we have anyone here who might be here for the first time or second time or haven't been around for a while, who'd like to introduce yourself? Let us know how you came to be here. Anyone? Yes?
Read us the last 2 weeks when we were in Costa Rica.
All right. Yes.
We talked about how wonderful you are.
We did.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
Do we have any birthdays or anniversaries we would like to celebrate today? Young lady, would you like to come forward? And I'm guessing since you're not with somebody, it's not an anniversary.
That's right.
Okay. The happy birthday song to Terry, who will, I'll let you introduce what you said last night.
So I'm Patton's sister, Terry, and on April 6th I'm going to turn 66, so it's 666 this year. And she was born on Easter Day.
Congratulations.
All right, so happy birthday to Terry. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Terry. Happy birthday to you. Anyone else? All right, then we'll move on to our next congregational song, which is in the new songbook.
No.
Oh, sorry. It's in the piece of paper that was handed out earlier. It's called I'm Gonna Let Life Move Me. So if you don't have one of these little sheets, grab one, and Jean and Carol.
So this is a
Susan.
song that I found online and I fell in love with it. It's very short. We're not going to do the optional verses. We're just going to do the first part.
You need to speak up, darling.
Oh, thought I was jealous. two parts and you'll see. We're gonna sing
Over
it.
and over.
Yeah, we're gonna sing it
Over and
over and
over.
over until I say stop.
Okay.
So this is the note for the part. Here we go. And you can sing and add in, or we'll sing it. Oh, here we go. Would you put this in the pocket so that if we decide to do it again, then you know what's possible on your hand? We'll have it work. Good. So, again, in the pocket. Got your weight.
So, this morning we do not have Marcia, our fellowship minister, with us, but we wish Marcia well in this time of change for her and her family. All right, so do you have a congregational announcement? Let me know. Because now is the time when I'm going to share them. Our first one is from Lisa Cottrell. Lisa says, "Want more well-being? Join my online Intro to Mindfulness meditation course. It will be 4 Thursdays in April, from 7 to 8 p.m. Eastern Time. You can register online at wellbeingpsychotherapy.net or email lisawellbeing, all one word, lowercase, at gmail.com. Donations accepted." If you have more questions, just let me know and I'll share more details with you.
And the donations are meant as a fundraiser for Econ.
Yes.
For what?
For the first D.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Thank you for clarifying that. Just so happens that it's the same one that
Yeah, never mind.
that Charlie shared with me. Also, there is one more performance by Beacon Dance this evening. It's 3 pieces, all new commissions by artists working at the intersection of art and activism at the B Complex in Southwest Atlanta. It is free. It will start at 8 p.m. It lasts about 2 hours, and it's a thought-provoking performance, if I do say so myself. Yes, Jean?
You all mark your calendars for April 19th, Friday night. We're having the art opening reception for our own Diane, who is showing her work. And it would be great if you all came to the opening. So 6 to 8, April 19, Friday night. Live music, choreography, so it'll be great. And Diane's going to draw caricatures.
All right. And looking ahead towards later in the month of April, on April 27th, which is a Saturday in the afternoon. I'm not certain on the specific time, but First E will be participating again in the Park Parade, and we will have a vehicle. If you don't feel like you can walk the roughly mile or mile and a half length of the route, you can ride in a vehicle. And it's a lovely, fun, spreading the word sort of thing at First E. You can see me, yes.
Board, annual meeting and meeting.
Oh yes, and the annual meeting is going to be on Sunday, April 21st, immediately following the celebration of life. Plan to stick around. Yes, and it will be a potluck sort of event as well. We have to vote in new board members for those who are...
Give me the date again, I'm sorry.
Sunday, April 21st.
And the parade is when?
Saturday, April 27th.
Yes. Awesome.
All right. We'll now move into our time of silence. This is a time when you can spend in whatever way that you would like, quietly, in community with others. And we do have candles on either side of the space if you would like to make use of those. In our pink book, on page 73.
I on purpose chose all women authors.
Ah. Because it's the last day of Women's History Month. All right, so this is God Bless the Grass.
Oh, great.
Please rise in body or spirit as you are willing and able to join in this woman-authored song. Clara Schumann Prelude. Short, but sweet. I was first introduced to existentialism in French class in, I believe, 9th or 10th grade. And my instructor, my French teacher in high school, Cindy Lopez, she was turned out to be very influential in many ways in my life, in that she kind of lived existentially and encouraged us to do so, even though we didn't necessarily know that's what we were doing. But she also kind of inspired in me a little bit of a deeper understanding of how the French language itself has an existential sort of slant to it, in that this is just a small example. When a French speaker says that they, or talks about their profession, they don't say, I am a bricklayer, or I am a dancer, or I am a blah, blah, blah. They say, I do this. And so it's that slight little shift in how, as English speakers, we identify ourselves in that way, which in a sense kind of imposes upon us some things that we may not want to be doing. And as opposed to saying, this is something I do, but there's so much more to me than just that as a defining feature of who I am. So, the other way that she inspired me was because she didn't want to just teach us French language, she wanted to teach us French culture. And or just culture in general, or find different ways for us to experience learning the French language from different perspectives. And one of those was to put on a big splashy performance that's sort of like this cabaret type of thing. And it was, I think, in that, and having dabbled in some theater even before that, but that I really began to consider that I wanted to do the performance. And so that has been very much a path that my life has taken. So she, in a sense, inspired in me this, not necessarily rebirth, but definitely a birth of an aspect of my life. And so as we move into this opportunity for people to share their own stories of birth or rebirth or transformation of some sort, just thinking about what's going on out in the world here in Atlanta beyond the pollen that's floating through the space. It's there because, as my friend Susan Keller likes to say, the trees are having sex. And we're sort of collateral damage in that, or at least those who suffer from allergies. So, down here at the front, we have some supplies. And as you see, over the past few years, we have been contributing each time we reach this season again with our tapestry of springtime. And so I invite you to come down, and if you're going to write on something, make sure that you do it on the black plastic there so that it doesn't bleed through to the tablecloth with the markers. If you are feeling creative and don't want to use one of the flowers that are already cut out, there's fabric there, and you can create your own flower shape and not be imposed upon with those flowers that are already cut. Anyone have a story that they would like to share to get us continuing to roll of rebirth or renewal? Lisha, why don't you come forward and I'll hand you the mic here.
Thank you. I was fortunate to go to Ghost Ranch, New Mexico, for a writing workshop, and it was a very deeply felt experience in many ways. And I wrote this called Earthbound. I stood in the shadow of the great bison, finally sheltered from all that we here call life, cast back to prior drumbeats. I stood in the one shadow of the infinite desert and heard the earth sweat, felt the butterflies gnawing the sky, saw the feet of my roots. I stood in the stillness of the here and sweet now, spirit hovering in my headband. My mind knocked, and there was no answer.
Who's next? Susan.
This is kind of from a different angle, but I got my ultimate homestead exemption for DeKalb County.
Okay.
The ultimate. So I'll only be paying $800 in taxes a year. And my brokerage account is making money. So that's my good news.
Feeling reborn financially. Did I see a hand here?
Our trip to Costa Rica was recreational. Yeah, recreational, recreate. And so it came back, knowing I had missed the service
Yeah.
that Leon.
That's a good one. It was good.
Now, Leon is the reason why Nita and I are here, because he led us and talked to us about it, and we're very grateful for him. I've known Leon over 20 years ago, and I've been amazed at his growth in spirit in that time, to be more like me. But in his sermon, he claimed to have Bible verses and stuff, and then he said, as we've talked to him before, and I've had discussions with him before, he is an agnostic atheist. And I have a problem with that. I have a problem because, Leon, you are the most, careful now. You're the most giving and loving person, and of all the men I know, I appreciate and admire you most. I want to emulate you, and I want to tell you. I challenge Leon to a debate. The debate will be whether Leon is legitimately an atheist or agnostic. I am a logician. He is a theologian. And that will be the course of the discussion. So I'd like Leon to meet me, and with any members here, or any members anywhere, to listen to a debate. Like Martin Luther and Johann Eck in the 15th century.
Yeah.
We'll debate whether there's atheists. I don't believe in atheists. I don't believe in agnostics. But we'll have, if he agrees, we'll have that debate. And I'm bringing this old love as a gauntlet to throw down to the challenge.
We are witness.
Sarah, it sounds like an event that First City should be hosting, promoting.
Need to play Leon's service.
With the glove image, yes. Other, yes, Jane.
Well, since Susan mentioned it, I will too. I went to DeKalb County this week and got my senior deduction, and my taxes went down from $2,300 to $500. Now, it's really exciting. I told this story before, but I think my rebirth is just when I discovered this place. And I was going through some major depression and just really needed something in my life. And not being a religious person, I didn't think church was it. I knew church wasn't. I'm an ex-Catholic. It's like, once you've been there, you never go back. But I was desperate, and I had heard of this place, and I walked in and was greeted by Robert Stewart. And this was, I wish I knew when it was, but I think it was about 12 years ago. And I had found, I knew the first day that I had found that
sense of community that I was looking for. I know it's hard for you to believe, but I'm a total introvert. I don't like to talk, but I'm still, I'm the kind of person that I don't really leave my house, right now. This is one thing that gets me out of my house. I was like, during 2020 when COVID hit, I was like, this is the greatest year ever. I don't have to leave my house, I can make excuses to stay at home. This place has changed my life, and I found new friends and just a new sense of community and just feeling. I've learned so much from being here. I didn't know what existentialism was when I first came here. Now, it's just what I want to live. And I just want to thank everybody here that has taught me and has just been there for me. And I just love everybody. It's my home. That's been my rebirth. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Jan. Diana.
I was making a birthday card for a friend the other day. Her birthday was the 24th of March. And I was just going, wow, people that are born in the spring, that's just that time. I was born in September. So it's being born in the spring is like the time to be born. So then I just wrote her a very short poem. It's, oh, to be reborn each and every spring as are the flowers. But it can apply to everyone.
Maybe you can write that down on a flower and contribute it to our tapestry. Leon.
Well, I won't say anything about Rick and Edith since I, behind their backs, talked about them a couple of weeks ago. That's a confession. I did stop and think about the topic for today. I've been a member here for about 4 years, I think. And I thought, well, what difference has it made for you? To turn from a strongly Christian background experience, years and years and years, and then to be in an existentialist, more open situation and a group. And so I made a list of things. I can never speak spontaneously, unfortunately, but I'd like to tell you what I have here. Since coming here and the changes that it has initiated in my life, I believe, this is all self-assessment, I believe that I'm a little more loving than when I came. To my wife, to myself, and to others. I believe that I'm free from having to change others. I lived a lifetime of thinking, everybody's pretty much wrong but me. I have got to change everybody. That's an obligation, it's not easy. But I think I'm letting loose of that a bit. And say, let them be what they want to be, that's okay. I think I'm less motivated by authority than I used to be. I don't think that God is telling me what to do, or Bible, or church, or rules, or laws, or even traditions. I am totally free to choose the values of my life and try to live them. Another, I feel that I have less guilt and shame. Actually, shame has ruled my life in many ways.
I think an authoritative religious system tends to do that. And I think I can just live by my own rules. I hope there'll be good rules and good values to live by. That's what I want. I'm a little less defensive and more open and accept criticism a little better. I think my wife would agree to that. So there have been some changes, and I think they're significant. Thank you.
Leon,
Thank you.
you just spoke for me just then.
Oh,
You said everything that I would have liked to have said.
thank you.
I totally agree with your assessment.
Other thoughts? Yes, Jean.
I had a rebirth this morning. I was aware that when I woke up and all this talk of Easter Sunday and blah, 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 I found that I was very bummed out. And I kept thinking that I should try to latch on to some kind of biblical hope in the face of all this Easter stuff. And I thought about not coming today. I thought I'm just too bummed out. Oh man, and then I made a decision to come today to help sing the song that Charlie wanted us to sing. And so as I drove over here and warmed up, and I started thinking of that Native American Cherokee Indian song that we sing, Wende Yaho, and how it is a celebration and gratitude for the sun coming up. And I laid that concept over the Easter Christian stuff that was bumming me out. And now I feel better. I am revived, and so this is what I wrote to go on that. Take heart, be with courage. And to me, today, that means take action sometimes even when you don't feel like it. And that it is true that when you give something, you get more back.
Other things to share? Yes.
Well, thank you, Jane, because that was inspiring. I didn't feel like it, but I think it should be said. I feel sort of a revival going on, just like in the times, like with everybody. There are a lot of, I think, bad forces coming up, but there are even more good forces coming up to combat them, politically, socially, all of that. For me, I spent a lot of time working at Waffle House, and I think it took a lot of my life away. It took, a lot of my health and my time. It literally has taken, my friends. It's taken so much, but now people are coming up. You might have heard about the union, and the union is rising up. So Waffle House is going to pay.
All right.
again, if you haven't had a chance to, you don't have to necessarily do it today. We'll have these materials every Sunday until we move into summer, so you can add to it then. And we will go ahead and move on. Thank you to all who shared this morning. Our closing congregational song is in the new folder book. And these again are done alphabetically. And so we are going to turn to the B's. B is in Barbara. But in this case, it is both sides now by Joni Mitchell. So please rise and body your spirit as you are willing and able to join in singing our closing congregational song, Both Sides Now.
So I'm going to play a little in your
Our closing words.
If you don't want to take it from yourself, take it from somebody else, okay?
Our closing words today are simply an invitation to see how many times you can rebirth yourself in the next 5 minutes, in the next day, in the next week. It's happening all the time, whether you like it or not. Have a good rest of your day, and come back next Sunday for our speaker, who will be Reverend Beck Cranford, speaking on Divine Strangers, Warnings from Antiquity about Hospitality. Have a wonderful day.
Great.